Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Toolizzforyou, Toolizzforyou.
And I'm cpredmor on Ravelry on Instagram. When I post, I'm posting as Knitting in Our Jeans. I often forget to put the -C, so if it's knitting related or sailing related, it's probably me.
I post knitting stuff to there too.
Right.
But in the style of the Knit More's a 1-minute health update, there is a pandemic occurring.
We hope everybody who's watching us is doing okay, and if you're not, we hope you get better fast.
And yes, we understand that this is not the regulatory 6 feet. However, I did come over yesterday, and I have spent the day, or essentially the last 24 hours here, but we have been spending it on either ends of the couch, which are approximately 5 to 6 feet apart.
At least.
Because we know this because one of us naps on one side and then one of us naps on the other side. And I'm about 5'9", so you get the picture.
And I haven't been to any place public since last Monday.
Whereas I have. I am still commuting to work via the subway. I will not be driving into Manhattan. I do not need to be doing that. If I need to get to work, I will be taking the subway. And currently I am still needed at site. Right. We'll see what happens there, but currently that is where we are at. I did confirm with both my mother and father before I came over that it was good with them that I do so. As far as I'm aware, I have not had any contact yet.
Right.
But please be safe. Please, if you are able to.
Because I just put on my Livestock Company Shepherdess salve because with all the hand washing, I'm like drying up. Like,
yeah, I might be putting a Lolo order in because I need
dried paper.
Yeah,
It's pathetic.
I thought I had more Lolo bars in my cabinet. I don't think I do. I might have to go searching again, but I hadn't found them in the first search that I did on Friday.
So I have a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, a regular periodic migraine. And my doctor called herself today saying, "How are you?" And I said, "I'm fine. I haven't done anything since Monday."
Yes, so
I'm fine.
I'm just saying that if you are experiencing any symptoms or if you are able to
quarantine?
Self-isolate.
Yes.
Whatever they're calling it now. As my father says, sheltering in place.
Yes.
Please do so. Please be able to work from home. We need to do all that we can to keep this thing from overwhelming.
Try to be as calm as you can.
We just need to keep it from overwhelming our healthcare systems.
I've got a classroom full of students online who aren't really scaring themselves. Now, my class has always been scheduled to be online. We finished the first 7 weeks of the spring semester and MBA classes are 7 weeks long online. So we finished the first session, not a problem. The second session, I'm starting to get a little worried about them because now all of their classes have gone online.
Yeah.
This is something they're not used to. And even though this class they signed up for as online, they seem to be psyching themselves out. I'm very lucky in that half the students are doing okay. Either because they are working adults and are used to having downward pressure in their lives. And I think that most of us would agree that after we graduated from school, we probably got even more pressure in our lives than we had when we were in school. Fair to say?
Fair to say.
Okay. So my undergraduates just into MBA graduate school are the ones who seem to be freaking out. The older students seem to be taking this in their stride. And then the students who have had me before, they are coming up to snuff, and I'm proud of them. I have to say I'm very proud of them because they're just doing it, and doing your work, especially if you're able to do it at home, will help keep you focused in the moment. If you find that you're feeling ill, please take care of yourself. We certainly will, should any of us become ill. Mm-hmm. But honestly, Richard his office has now closed.
The office he's working in.
So he hasn't seen anybody since Thursday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, he could start hacking up.
So I'm probably going to be the vector if anything occurs. But,
so, we do periodically go to the grocery store. But we've been lucky in that the times that we've gone, it has been relatively empty. So, we'll keep trucking on. So we'll
if you are a healthcare professional, thank you very much for all that you are doing. You are a freaking rock star.
Yes.
I just want to put that out there because, damn, y'all still have to go to work and you have to deal with sick people and people who are just losing their ever-loving minds.
Absolutely.
Oh, I think we're related at all?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Also, if you are a teacher, thank you for all that you've done, dealing with having kids either being pulled out or not being pulled out, and
the fact that many of you are now having to
learn how to teach online.
Lessons online, which, I'm lucky that I had 6 months to get my class together to create it for online because I created this class that I'm teaching.
But you also did it a few years ago.
But I had 6 months before it started to get into the format that we wanted. And we've updated it since then. And then every time we switch a platform, there's more, monkeying around that has to be done with it. So I do know how much work it takes to do this. I didn't walk into a class that had been set up and all I had to do was answer some questions. I actually wrote the class in its original form. So I do understand that it's
good luck and Godspeed.
It's an on-ramp up to do that. So yes, everybody take a deep breath, try to be in the moment. I find that if I try to focus on what I have to do in the next 5 minutes, and then the next 5 minutes, and then the next 5 minutes, then my life seems to go a lot better. And I did that even when I was working on campus because I was one of those people that had a schedule that was almost always, the time was almost always spoken for. And if I thought about all the things that were due the next day, it would be crushing. So it's just like, what is the next 5 minutes hold? What is the next 5 minutes? If that can work for you.
Yes. So just wanted to put that out there.
Yes.
Any of you who are able to, please support our indie dyers in this hard time. A lot of festivals are being canceled and postponed. A lot of shops, specifically the New York shops, 2 of them in New York City, I believe, have closed for the foreseeable future due to COVID-19. So if you are able to support your local yarn shop or your favorite indie dyers by buying online, please do so. I know Knitty.com has a post up that and we'll put a link to it down below, that has all of the dyers and all of the different festivals that were canceled.
Okay.
So that you can find that more easily. I do know that if you like Brooklyn General, they are closing their doors for this.
That came out today.
They did. So please, if there's anything on their website that you want, buy it.
They said they would deliver in Brooklyn.
And I just...
I mean, they would hand deliver.
Right. But they are one of...
mail out.
They're a great shop, and I would hate to see this have more lasting effects than predicted.
Yes.
So
we're thinking of the whole community.
So definitely check out those things. Anything you can buy from people who might have been affected, definitely do that. I know my comic book shop is offering to ship out books and do curbside pickup, and even if you can go into the shop, he's willing to send you an email invoice so that you don't have to exchange pens or credit card or anything. So there is no passing. No touch. Yeah, no touch that area. So those are just some options. Definitely support your local, your small businesses. I
think with ingenuity we can get through this and have as few people infected as is humanly possible.
Yeah. I'm just upset that my Chinese restaurant that has me save Chinese food doesn't deliver to my apartment.
Well,
I was craving
find some
that.
Others. Well, you never know. Just like we saw that Chipotle is now doing free delivery, you may find that some more do that.
I know. We'll see.
Anyway, we also saw on the Channel 4 News, which is NBC around here, that if you're not infected, it seems to be safe to go out into the park. Go to
the beach?
To the beach, the seashore. I've been down to Jones Beach a couple times. I have my hiking stick and my bicycle in the car. And if it's too windy for the bike, I can still walk. So I've been doing that. The doctor for Channel 4 News had said that the fresh air is good if you can get more fresh air in the house. I actually crack a window open. Don't tell my husband. But I try to keep a window cracked open so that we have movement of fresh air through the house. And I do that most of the time.
Yeah.
Because I like the fresh air. Yeah. The house gets stale. So anyway, moving on to knitting.
Yes. Sorry that was longer than a minute, but this is a developing issue.
This is my Elphaba.
Yes.
And if you notice, it has raglan sleeves.
Yes, it does.
So, and the pattern that I was working on has set-in sleeves. So I can't change this from fingering into worsted. That's it. That won't do.
Well, you can, but it would not be applicable to the original
idea.
Original problem you were trying to solve by doing
I already had made the sleeves.
Yes.
So, yeah, if I had done it this way before I had done the sleeves, that's a possibility. But I would have done it down to here and then done the sleeves and then gone on. So anyway, I'll show you what I have done instead.
A lot. I'll give you a clue. It's a lot. Whoops. She's done a lot.
Well, we have a lot of odds and ends here. We have 2 sleeves that have been done. This is the bottom. I did not do that lacy pattern for as deep as they wanted because it was just driving me mad, and I didn't see the point on a cuff. No. So I do have this on the cuff, and I have 2 of them, so that's that cuff, and I have the full length. They are 18 inches to the underarm, and then their sleeve cap. So they're rolling like crazy now because they haven't been blocked. But, so I have my sleeves. And the reason I did that is so that I could work on the body. Now, the other thing I have is I have done both bottoms. So here is bottom A, here's bottom B. So the plan is now I did a provisional cast on. Have I lost any stitches? I think I just lost one. I did a provisional cast on. Let's grab that stitch. Okay, I did a provisional cast on, which is this light gray, actually, not a light blue, light gray. And I am now doing the body from about here, from about bust line up. So I'm going to do another inch before I start the armholes. I'm going to do the armholes and then and then I have to say that in the pattern, which is now on the floor, this is Rowan Red Hot. Red Hot. Comments in Ravelry have said that the neckline for some has been so wide that it falls off your shoulders. I don't like a sweater that falls off my shoulders. I am not a one-shoulder sweater girl. Not me. So what I'm going to do is I'm using the Elphaba as a guide as to where to start the neck edge. So if you see, my sleeves start here, and my neck edge there starts about 2.5 inches up. We measured, so even if it may look like 1.5 inches with her arm, it really was 2 inches, 2.5 inches. So I will do another inch before the armholes. That gives me some stability then in the circular thing. Start the armholes, and then from where I start the armholes, I'm going to put a marker in the center so that 2.5 inches up, that's where I divide for the neck edge. I may have to do a more severe V as it comes up, so they'll have the right width of shoulder up here. But if it's up here and it's wide, it's less like it has less room to fall off. So anyway, that's my thinking. I may also decide to have wider shoulders.
I'm looking at the photo.
Here.
I was going to suggest maybe you do a less wide V.
Right, and I can have wider shoulders since I'm doing the back and the front roughly. I mean, do the front first. Decide, maybe I'll do the same inclination. Incline, decline.
Slope,
that's the word. And I'll still end up with a wider shoulder than I would if I started down here. Yeah. It'll be up 2.5 inches, so it'll be less, there'll be more shoulder at the shoulder. So, Ravelry, good, my throat is dry. The one problem I do have still is allergies, and they mentioned on the television that with all the fresh air, yes, you're going to get pollen in, and for those of us who have seasonal allergies, that does mean we will be a little bit more affected by the seasonal allergies. And I will say that I've been taking my allergy medicine as is directed on the instructions, which is twice a day when I normally take it once a day. Oh, well, that's fine. So I had been working on my Red Hot. I finished the sleeves. I should get to certainly, and now since I'm doing in the round, and even when I get to the sleeve, to taking it off for the sleeve, the divide for the sleeves, I can do the front, and that I can turn around and do the back, do the front and do the back. So I will have to do back and forth. Oh well, that's fine. So I'll go one way and then I'll come back and do the other. So it will be up at the same height. I'll be finishing the front and the back at the same time. Yeah. Yeah.
You can do it. Just have one ball for the front and one ball for the back. And then you'll have 2 balls for the front and 1 ball for the back. But yeah.
And I've got lots of different, I've got 2 balls of yarn that I have not yet touched. I've got one that I just started. I am so dry now. It's the allergy medicine.
You did take it about a half hour ago.
Dries me out, which is the point. So I should have certainly enough yarn to go up here. And then this will allow me then to take out the provisional cast on and work down as far as I can go. And then I will have the sweater as long as it can be and then attach the 2 bottoms. I swear, now I'm just going to cough. And then I can seam those 2 bottom ends, or I can leave them open. We'll decide when we get there. But I should be able to finish it this week. Since now we're just going no lace, just this.
Guess what I finished today?
Well, wait a minute. But remember I had said I was going to work on a whip? Yeah, well, I cast on an Etude.
Remember how she said she was doing that? She started her gauge swatch last week. Yeah, she started it.
So,
but she hasn't been working on it this weekend. I've only seen her working on the Red Hot. So,
I was ashamed of myself.
Oh,
so, it's in here someplace. No, it's not. It fell out. Here it is. So, my Etude, I did my gauge swatch. I got perfect gauge.
Oh.
With the needles as suggested.
And then you moved up to do Magic Loop?
Yes. So, I am doing Magic Loop. I have started the neck. It's a top-down sweater. So, I started the neck and started the lace. And I'm marking off. I know where I am because I am finding it's a little bit easier
to color
them in solid.
Good.
And I know some people use the
tape.
My eye will go above and below the tape. My eye goes all over. I have to actually black it out. So I've only done round 4 of the chart. That's fine. So it's round 4 past the rolled neck edge, which is what this part is. So as soon as I finish that denim, which is no longer driving me crazy.
Good.
It was the lace that was driving me crazy. I would do all kinds of weird things with it. Because I was doing it and not really watching it. So anyway, then I'll do the Etude, and then from the Etude, I will do my off-white
art yarn. Oh,
yes. So that's downstairs.
So Tanya and I were talking, and we were saying we should have a quarantine project. Is your Etude your quarantine project?
Yes, and then if I finish that, we'll go to the art yarn.
Well, because she and I were saying we should knit our pumpkin ales but she's already working from home. I'm not, so the clock doesn't start until I get told I'm working from home. That's our rules,
right?
But she texted me this morning saying that we should first finish our Starflakes,
right?
And I was like, "Oh, you're brilliant." So I think that's going to end up being it. But I did finish something today. I finished
That's right.
the Vertices blanket. I haven't woven in the ends yet, but it's lovely. It's a pretty decent lap blanket just for me. I was using it as a blanket while I was knitting on it last night,
Well, then you fell asleep,
and then I fell asleep under it. So so I think I'll throw it in the washer probably the next time I'm here. I don't think we'll be gifting it to the recipient just yet with everything that's going on.
Did I show the little sweater with all the buttons?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
You did show it on the Instagram.
The Instagram shows my
Sanfelice
with the buttons. I left it downstairs. I will bring it up next week because we're not gifting that until we're out of the social quarantine type of thing. But I did finish it, so that moved on. Yards of that.
So I finished the Vertices Unite. I finished this I-cord bind off today. I did the I-cord bind off today. It was slightly hellish, but it looks lovely. So, and then I picked...
That's the thing. I was chasing this. An I-card bind off looks great.
So I then picked up my Ease, which is in Nerd Girl Fibers, or Nerd Girl Yarns, spoon, or This Is My Spoon, something like that. I can't remember what it is, but I love it. It's a former Doctor Who colorway, and I have like 1,800 yards or something like that. I've got an epic buttload. So I'm making the Ease, and I picked it up today. I tried it on. It looks really good.
It does. It looks great.
So I've got to get to 9 inches below the armhole, and then I start the increases for the hips, because it is a tunic length.
What's it at now? It looks pretty close.
So this is 6 inches. That was 7, so it was at 7 when I measured it downstairs not too long ago.
Okay.
And I don't think I've put on a full inch on it yet, but we're at... No, I might have.
It certainly looks that way to me.
Yeah, so I have 8 inches.
You have 8 inches.
I have 8 inches now.
Okay.
So I'll just keep knitting on it. I might have a hole. What?
No, there is a measuring tape on this table somewhere.
Oh, somewhere, yeah. So I have another inch, and then I start the hip increases, and I figure that'll be good, and because this has been a whip for a while. I think I might just try and knock out a bunch of my whips that I have. Though I did find the Bensford cardigan swatch that I did. I had put it in the bag with the Artichoke French. So for some reason I was like, wait, have I checked in that bag yet? And I hadn't, and I looked and it was there. So that was good. So maybe I want to get 1 or 2 things like done and off my plate before I start that. But that might end up being another cast on for the quarantine. But yeah, I also very much want to cast on my Sorrel, but I'm trying very hard to do things that I have had yarn for a while first.
Well, I'm gonna do the art yarn after the Etude. And then I think I want to do some of the sweaters that I had put aside for linen and cotton and wool. So I have another set of the Queensland over here someplace. Someplace I've got a whole set of purple. Of the Queensland. And then some of the stuff that I bought just last weekend was summer yarn. And since it's March and we're going to be heading into summer season, I think now would be the time to do that. So even though there's some stuff still under this table, and I know we keep promising you to show you the stuff that's under the table, we'll get there.
Well, if we're...
Maybe next weekend.
Yeah.
Or if you're off work, we can figure that out.
I was going to say, if I'm off work, I might just be like, you want to come over? I'll come get you. You can come over. You don't touch anything until you get into my apartment. We record there, and then I bring you back home.
That's possible.
Because I don't think I can trek all of my whips here.
No, probably not.
So...
Probably not.
Depending on the situation.
So we'll see what happens. And under here, I've got some things, but that's just yarn that's there. That's not even, that was not even a whip.
No. And that coat is still...
That coat needs to be embroidered. That's not a knitting thing. That's an embroidery thing. That's where I managed to, didn't buy enough yarn.
The two dye lots.
I've got the two different dye lots, and it's glaring.
Yeah.
So that needs to be fixed. Yeah, so I mean, it's still here. We haven't lost the pieces. So we're fine.
Yeah.
I do have to locate the cowl that goes with it. And it's in it's either in my choir bag. It's in one of my bags. But that project's still kind of all in one piece. And I have the yarn to do the paisley embroidery with it. So one of these days. But as I said, summer's coming, and I think making some of these summer sweaters, including the summer sweaters that we were looking at last year that included some of this mohair.
You mean the as if tee?
No, there was a couple that were from Taiwan.
Oh, well, I think those are your as if tee options.
Well, there were also some that I had pulled out for I want to say Luberon, but that's not it. But it begins with an L-U. So it's in my queue, and I can look it up. And it has lace weight, and it has, so it's, as she writes, that she's in a very warm climate, so she wants to write patterns that are light and airy. And I thought, since I don't really want to make shawls of my lace weight, because I'm not going to be wearing them,
right?
Then looking up these sweaters that are lace weight in summer make a lot of sense. So I'll finish what I'm working on, head into the Etude, because I couldn't wait, and that helps clear the desk off a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
We decided to put a hold on our house looking, or our changing of residence, because not that I'm terribly concerned about, I should be terribly concerned about going in other people's homes, but I'm not. But I am terribly concerned about people coming into my house. So we decided to kind of put it off until next year, and maybe putting this house on the market maybe next February type of thing. Because it's not a forced move. No. And there'll be houses on the market next year that'll be just as delightful as the ones that are on the market this year. So we don't need to put ourselves in peril just because I have a desire for a little variety. And soon, right now, most of the hospitals in New York City have stopped any elective surgery. However, Hospital for Special Surgery has not done that yet.
I think actually the mandate today that came down today means all hospitals.
It may be, but I'm also scheduled for May, not March.
I know, but I'm just saying, because of what's being...
We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
So, once I do have knee surgery, I don't need to be moving the houses too. No. So, things will be whatever they will be, and we're pretty good with it. I mean, we have figured out we need to go to the grocery store once a week because there's always things that we thought we had enough of and we don't have enough of. We buy rice by these huge bags. I can't even tell you what the weight is. I mean, they're huge bags. And we managed to use the last of one.
Today?
No.
Oh.
We filled the containers with the last one. The
Okay.
bag is gone.
Oh.
Your father, when he was at the store on Friday, tried to get rice and all the big bags
they're
were gone.
sold out, yeah.
Yeah. So, one day they'll go and they won't be sold out and it will be fine.
I keep being asked if I need anything by my friends in a joking manner because I am, I have a gluten allergy, so I am predominantly gluten-free. And so, or no, I am all gluten-free.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Well, I mean, rice is gluten-free by its nature. Corn is, that kind of stuff. Whatever. I'm overthinking this. So I'm gluten-free. So the fact that a lot of the grocery stores still had gluten-free items, people were like, oh, do you need anything? I was like, no, I went shopping, before all the panic buying happened. So...
Well, we were at the store on Monday and bought several $100s worth of, we got chicken and we got fish and...
I spent more than usual, but I also was restocking my, whole fridge because
we had nothing before.
Yeah, same.
So this was our normal
I
grocery
come from
shopping.
a family of, we're going to eat everything possible in the house to avoid going to the grocery store anyways.
That's right.
So we go to the grocery store under pain of, not having anything to eat. So when you go, you buy everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's just funny. Because I'm realizing that I have friends who don't do that. And I'm like, I don't understand it. But that's just how I was raised.
Yeah. So, anyway, we'll and we're still eating bananas. So we just ate the last banana this morning. So we have to go and get bananas. So we got a short list of things to get. And if we get
you'll
them,
be fine.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
But also, we're knitters. We
That's
can
right.
knit. And
do you see all this? I got more than enough, and you saw what I bought last week, so we got more than enough to keep us busy.
And if you have a need, you can always, check out the nitty list.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So there were no other magazines that came in the house this week, because we're from the New York City area with a hot spot in New Rochelle. That's been the main focus, and one of the reasons why we bought more than we normally buy at the grocery store. So instead of buying 4 packs of chicken, I bought 8. It just because I figured if we could buy enough for 2 weeks,
right?
So we could go without going to the store for 2 weeks. We probably could. Why your father didn't buy enough Cheerios, I don't know.
See, I bought myself enough breakfast supplies for legitimately a month.
No, he bought what he normally buys for the week. So
but the gluten-free waffles were on sale. So I bought 2 family packs. I bought a thing of bagels. I bought 2 of the chocolate ones. I was going ham.
Well,
but
he could have bought more. But anyway.
Also was dead out of all breakfast stuff when I went to the grocery store. So
and you said, did I have enough of the sunflower butter?
Oh,
well,
yeah. I didn't say that. Father said that.
I had a new carton arrive. I buy them by the carton, these little individual packs, because I can't find them in the stores anymore. So I buy them through Amazon.
And because Mother prefers the little packets instead of getting the jars, because the jars separate, and Mother does not like to have to mix it.
That's not it at all.
Really?
I have no portion control whatsoever. None.
The one time I asked, you said...
If I have a jar, I will sit there and eat the jar. So if I get these little packets, I'll only open one.
Oh.
And that's enough. Because otherwise, I'll overeat. That's that simple.
You told me,
need help with portion
2 years ago that it was because you didn't want to have to sit there and stir the whole jar.
Well, I don't like that either, but it's mostly portion control. So that's come in the house. Yeah. And I'm waiting on my rice milk to come in. I already ordered that. Okay. Because, again, I can't get it really in the store, so I ordered it. That should be coming.
But yeah.
So we're doing fine. So I hope everybody else is doing well, and you've thought of the ways that you can do what you need to do. I hope you
and
can.
if you're able to go out and, help others in your community who can't, or, perhaps are more elderly or infirmed, and you can help them, reach out.
I saw there was some law students from Hofstra that have banded together, and they are buying groceries for the elderly on their block, which is really sweet.
There's a whole bunch of things going around the internet. There's a lot of people posting on their actual physical signs in their apartment buildings saying, "I'm from this unit. If you need anything, leave a message, or drop me a note, and I'll try and get you what you need. If you need someone to pick up your medications, something like that." There's also been I saw a flyer that you could fill out yourself and then put it all over, say, your neighborhood or where you felt comfortable putting it, offering either just to be someone to talk to, a phone call, or to go and pick up medication, go grocery shopping, or if, you're like, I really don't want to go out, but I am able to go out, so if you desperately need something, reach out, and I will, be happy to help. So those are some great resources. So definitely offer to help those who need it.
We can be a sense of community.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it's time to weave in our ends.
Yeah,
we don't have anything else. Nope, she does.
We do! My socks!
Oh, and the other thing was we saw, what was that podcast we saw today? Fruity Knitting. The number 96.
It's about the Swiss Yarn Festival.
Yarn Festival. The two collaborators who have organized the Swiss Yarn Festival, they have some really terrific patterns, and one was for knee socks.
No, that wasn't one of the organizers. That was.
Yes, it was.
They were together. I thought that was just a designer who was there who she talked to.
No, they both happen to be designers, etc., but they're also the two that got together to organize it. Okay. So anyway, there's a pair of knee socks that are amazing. And I managed to buy that pattern today.
Oh, the punk ones?
Yes!
Nice!
Yes! So, check it out.
So, speaking of socks, this happened to my socks last week. I pulled them on, and they went pop. So, I need to pick them up and probably figure out how to darn them.
I can help you.
Okay. So, maybe that'll be also a task for the next few weeks. But, yeah, that was fun. I'm looking forward to figuring out how to fix that.
We can fix that. Do you have any of that yarn?
I might.
See if you have any of that pink.
I might.
If you have pink and you have gray, we can fix it.
And then I looked down yesterday.
Oh.
So this, I did do the toe in a different yarn. Or it's the same yarn, different colorway. So I'm thinking I'm going to just pick up right below the toe. And I'm going to take out the toe in and of itself and reknit it.
That's a good idea.
Even though this sock has been through the washer many a time, so you can see it's slightly felted, but I love it. So I think I do have some clever bits and bobs, I think, in the drawer, and I honestly think my toenail did it, because it's right above my big toe, and it can do that.
When you redo it, you might want to use some...
the reinforcing, or mohair. Yeah, I know. I was thinking that. But yeah, I just wanted to show those to you all, that it happens to all of us. But I think I've had these, since I lived here.
Well, it's been a while.
So that's been a while. 5 years. So 4 years? Something like that. So these socks have been through the ringer. So I think it's okay that they've slightly lost it.
Yes.
But I do think that if I just take it down to maybe that row,
reknit it and with some reinforcement,
you'll
be fine.
That's my thought.
Okay.
But I just thought I'd let you know that sometimes it happens to all of us.
I've popped a stitch like that.
You have?
I have. I did it in the toe, and I was at physical therapy, and all of a sudden I looked down and my toes hanging out. It was getting a little chilly, and I went, oh my gosh. And one stitch had let go. Yeah. And I fixed it when I got home.
I was putting on the pink and gray socks, and I had the other one on, and I'm going and I'm pulling on this one, and it goes pop, and I was like, you little shit.
What's your language?
It was, because I had to go find new socks.
We'll be able to fix it.
Yeah.
Anything else, my dear?
I think that's it. Be kind to people.
Yes.
Be good.
Be kind to yourself.
Yes. If you're having...
Find your favorite beverage. Sit down, sit back, have a glass, have a cup full. For me...
Watch some Netflix.
That's right.
Great British Bake Off is great for when you just don't know what is going on in the world. I've found it's been very helpful in the last few years.
And we've been watching... What did we watch? We watched...
Murdoch's Mysteries.
That. And then YouTube, we watched Sewing today.
We did. We have been watching Bernadette Banner.
Yes.
Who does historical sewing. And
I then managed to... Oh, and Vogue Patterns... Vogue and McCall's are having sales on their patterns. I think they're like $6.95 instead of $16.95. So if you're interested, look at that. I bought 6 patterns today.
Oh wow!
So they should be around, and they're coming in the mail. So that's one of the reasons to buy patterns online rather than buying them in the store, because you do look into these sales.
Yes. So we did watch that. We've watched, and we're catching up on Good Omens.
Yes.
I have read it. Mom has not.
Nope.
Mom is
totally
very
clueless.
amused. It's quite good. I know this was big last year.
Good Omen is on
Amazon
Prime.
And I know it was big when it came out. And we did watch the first few episodes together when it came out, but we usually would watch them later at night, and we would both fall asleep. So we are now rewatching them, and they're just lovely, and they're pretty stuck to the book. So I'm really enjoying it. It's good to rewatch it. And yeah, but yeah.
Be kind to yourself.
Just have a good week.
That's right. So weaving those in.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.